This is Ziyu Wu, and he just showed you how to lose a world record in the dumbest way possible.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. Waiting until you hit it. The fuck?
You see, Ziyu is confident. Really confident. And for good reason. He just got done breaking the 12-sided Rubik's Cube world record in back-to-back rounds of competition. The Megaminx is the puzzle's government name, and Ziyu has spent nearly a decade of his life perfecting his solving of it to get to this
And you want to take the world record? I know I would. Fucking no.
moment. A moment where the exact confidence that got him here would turn out to be his biggest downfall. Because on the fateful day of November 8th, 2025, Ziyu made it his goal to not just break the world record, but break it as many times as he possibly could.
Shaking my head like, nah, for the world record, I sound wrong.
And he was willing to go to extreme lengths in order to do that. His speculated reasoning for this is simple. The cube brand he used to break the world record doesn't pay you based on how long you hold a record. They pay you for how many times you break it. Ziyu, being well aware of this, was ready to enact his plan in round 2 of Guangzhou Special 2025. The key to what you're about to see him do is that world record attempts are done in a 5-solve format, where the fastest time and the slowest time are removed, leaving the middle 3 to be averaged together. Ziyu's world record average that he got last round was a time of 24.87. Because of this, he knows exactly what he needs this round to break the record again. And when he started this average on perfect pace with a 25, a 27, and 2 23s, he knew he was about to have the opportunity to do something nobody in this room was ready to witness. The calculation Ziyu just did in his head tells him that the time he needs to break the world record is a 25.
Shocking that you need that much to break the world record.
0.64. So he starts his 5th and final solve, and it's going surprisingly well. Every piece just seems to be in the right place at the right time. And on top of that, his turning is nearly perfect. He's on extremely good pace by the time he reaches the final step of the solve, what he's known best for, the standout part of his style. It's a great execution, and if we pause it right here, the cube is solved at around 24 seconds flat. Most of the world's top Megaminx solvers would do all but kill for a 24-second solve. In fact, only 5 people on Earth have ever solved a Megaminx faster than the time Ziyu
That's crazy.
would have gotten had he just stopped the timer. But that's the thing, he didn't. Instead, he chose to wait for another full second before doing so, ending with a 25.30, just under his target of 25.64, and just enough to break his own world record average by 1/10 of a second. Everyone
1/10. Fucking hell, that's not that much.
watching is in sheer disbelief, but Ziyu knows exactly what he's doing. He's a cold-blooded killer, one so good at what he does that you can't even question whether or not it's ethical. He takes a bow, believing full well that the world record is safe with him for the foreseeable future. To the rest of the community, this was almost insulting. People quickly began to question whether or not it's even legal to do what Ziyu just pulled off. After all, the regulations clearly state that you can't intentionally make your solve slower. But no, because this was done in a world record, it was simply chalked up to nothing more than a skill issue. You want him to stop? Just get better. Either way, he'll just break the world record average again and continue to farm world records, right? Right? Ziyu
I know, yeah, that's the general idea.
doesn't know it yet, but he's about to get exactly what he deserves. And right before he does, I wanted to tell you about this video's sponsor, Speedcube Shop. If you spaz the desk kids, you can't teach his shop in warehouse 9 for your climbed his way through the Megaminx world rankings, breaking 7 straight European years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Timofey Tarasenko, a 13-year-old child prodigy from Russia. Over the last 3 years, he's climbed his way through the Megaminx world rankings, breaking 7 straight European records and becoming the youngest Megaminx world record holder ever.
I think that's impressive For such a young age, holy shit.
with this 22.05 second solve along the way. Ziyu might have been the world record average holder and ranked #1 in the world, but Timofey held the title of fastest Megaminx solve ever. Even with this fact looming over him, it should come as no surprise that Ziyu was still extremely confident he could continue to farm world records with zero consequences. Timofey was ready to show him just how big of a mistake he had made. Because not even a month after Ziyu set the Megaminx world record average, Timofey would have a round at Tashkent Open 2025 that started with the unthinkable. His very first solve of the average looked good, unusually good. Before he knew it, he was on one of the best paces we had ever seen.
Damn. 21. Sub 22. Shit. Nice.
21.99, the world's first sub 22 in a new single solve world record on the very first solve of the average. Already,
First. Shit.
history is being made. A world record on solve 1 of a Megaminx average has quite literally never been done in the category's 15-year history. Until today. Besides it being a world record, the reason a start like this is so advantageous is because this would almost certainly be his fastest solve of the average, meaning everything he does from here on out will count towards the middle 3 times in his attempt to take down Ziyu Wu. It is the perfect start, one he knows he cannot let go to waste over the next 4 solves. And unfortunately, it looks like he's doing just that, as Timofey's second solve is significantly behind the pace of solve 1. With a 27.4, he knows he's gonna have to forget about that one, and quickly. After all, if he's aiming for Ziyu's mark to beat of 24.76, counting that solve is just not an option. It's going to have to be his worst, leaving him in a situation that speedcubing likes to call the mean of 3. The next 3 solves determine everything. The first 2 he just did, being the fastest we've ever seen and then completely off of world record pace, virtually don't matter anymore. It's the definition of an all or nothing situation. And luckily, solve 3 lives up to the moment with a super smooth 23.81. It's one of his 10 fastest solves ever and already puts him comfortably under the current world record average. With a similar start to solve 4, the anticipation in the room begins to build moment by moment. It's a little bit more hesitant than the last solve, but that doesn't stop it from being yet another 23. If Ziyu were here right now, he would be shaking in his boots.
Bro, you be hoping for the most scramble on planet, holy shit.
Because at this point, all Timofey needs is a 26.8 on the final solve of his average to steal the world record from Ziyu. A nightmare situation for someone who thought they could get away with this level of insanity. The entire room watches as Timofey goes into his 5th and final solve, a chance to prove that farming world records was a colossal mistake, and for better or for worse, it was about to be very, very strangely climactic.
God, no heartbeat pumping, just going boop, 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 boop.
In the most unreasonably intense finish of his career,
Yeah, damn. Slightly hesitate. He could have been a better time to beat then, but I still worked out.
Timofey finished with a 25.6 as the final solve of an average that broke Ziyu Wu's world record by 0.4 of a second. 0.4 of a second.
I wouldn't say that's a lot, but not that is a lot.
That were quite literally right in front of him. No, seriously, if Ziyu would have stopped the timer when he finished the cube, he would still be the world record holder. All he needed on this final solve was a 24.14 to do it, and he had clearly solved the cube well before then. But Timofey was not letting this one slide. Despite 4 more rounds since then, Ziyu is still yet to come within a second of the world record he once planned to farm. Let this be a lesson, kids. Next time you want to get paid for being the best in the world at something,
Don't dick around.
at least, make sure that you're the best in the world at that thing. That was satisfyingly unfortunate, and if you want to see a guy try to